And it will allow us to give new services and to have new areas for our clients, existing customers, and also for new customers as well. If you see that Hungary is outside the EU, and the China is Hungary's biggest trading partner last year, it means that 380 companies, Chinese companies, are already having businesses in Hungary. So it's a new market for us, because based on one of the most innovative and best technologies what Huawei can provide in the cloud-based services, we will be able to provide these companies services in data centers and cloud-based applications.
So this partnership between Huawei and 4iG, what opportunities does it present for both companies?
It's an opportunity for 4iG to strengthen our international relations, and also to be able to provide the best mobile infrastructure and 5G technologies, not just in Hungary, but in the CE region. In the past years, with several acquisitions, we become the leading telecommunication company in Montenegro and also in Albania.
How does this partnership contribute with the China and Hungary relations? Recently, we had President Xi Jinping here, and a number of agreements were signed to strengthen the bond between these two nations.
The relation between Huawei and 4iG is absolutely in line with the deepening relation and the strategic partnership of China and Hungary. China is the biggest trading partner for Hungary outside the EU. But more importantly, there are more than 15 billion euros of Chinese ongoing investments are in Hungary. So just to give you some examples, there is the CATL battery factory, which will be the second in Europe for this Chinese company, and also BYD, who will build his first automotive plant in Europe. So I think these examples are showing the strengthening relation between the two countries.
Now, the European Commission has been critical about how Hungary has closed its ties with China. Do you feel that this criticism is misplaced? Should we be looking at strengthening ties rather than drawing lines on the sand?
I'm a businessman. 4iG is a technology group. So as it is, I wouldn't take positions on political issues, because I think this is a political issue. This is a political question. And if you see it from the business side, it's a totally different approach. Why? Because we believe what is the most important, as I said earlier also, to be able to provide the best services for our customers. How can I do that? If I have the best technology on a very competitive price. And I can tell you that Huawei has one of the most innovative and advanced technology in many areas, in 5G infrastructure, in the cloud-based services. And very interestingly, Hungary is not the only country who is working together with China on these type of technologies or digital areas. I can give you some example. For example, the biggest open cloud-based service data centers in Germany are based on Huawei technology. Or in 5G infrastructures, the biggest European telecommunication players like Vodafone or Orange are using also Chinese technology. Huawei still has more than 50% of the mobile infrastructure market in Europe.
Going ahead, sir, what do you see as some of the challenges before 4iG and some of the growth opportunities out there?
I think the biggest challenge, not just for 4iG, but for all leading telecommunication and IT players or IT infrastructure players in Europe, more especially, is to be able to invest enough. I mean, this is very, very important because data. The usage of data and the volume of data, what we have to transfer in our cables, so in our infrastructure, it's increasing. The demand is increasing continuously, and it will increase. It will be increased also, in the coming years continuously. So, what is very important that nowadays. To be competitive and to keep yourself competitive in this industry is the ability to invest enough into your network, both the fixed network and to the 5G and the mobile infrastructure. And the other thing is, from the other hand, in Europe, there are lots of telecommunication operators, and this is also makes this situation with the investment demand to the network more challenging, because in the meantime, if you compare the European telecommunication market, where you have, hundreds of telecommunication operators for, let's say, 3 to 400 million customers, while in the same time, if you see China, there are 3 telecommunication operators for 1.5 billion customers, or in the US there are 3 telecommunication operators for 400 million. So it's a huge disadvantage for Europe in general. Space industry is a multi-billion business. It's huge. And nowadays, this is the fastest growing, let's say, digital industry globally. So in 3 to 5 years' time, it will triple its volume, and there is a change in the paradigm of the satellites, because all the states and governments and all the end users wants to have cheaper solutions compared to 10 or 20 years ago, when a communication satellites was 1.5 or even 2 tons. Now satellites can be between 100 and 400 kilograms and can be more efficient than a 2 tons satellite, which would be 20 years ago. So, why it is important? Because not all the satellite manufacturer can be innovative enough to build these new, let's say, smaller satellites. And we've heard that there is a space in this industry where we can enter into. So that's why we had the cornerstone ceremony some weeks ago of the first, not just Hungarian but Central European space manufacturing center, which will be capable not just to manufacture satellites up to 400 kilograms, but also assembling and testing, integrating and testing these satellites.
So let me ask you about AI and its impact on telecommunications and this industry here in Hungary. What do you foresee?
It's revolutionary, and not just in Hungary. I would say that AI has an impact on telecommunication, IT, or space globally. So it's not just about Hungary. And why it was very important that when we signed the MOU some weeks ago with Huawei, it was not just about the cloud-based services, but we agreed to jointly invest into an AI innovation center, which will have a very important role to do, research on which areas AI could be used the best for in telecommunication and in IT infrastructure. It can have a big impact on cybersecurity and many things like that. So it's I think AI, we don't even see how big impact will it have on our future, and not just as a telecommunication company, but the end users, also for the customers. But we are trying to invest also into this area as much as possible to be able to use the advantages for our customers.